Hello and welcome to the webinar. This is Önder Özcan. Today I'm going to talk about SLA Cookbook with Time to SLA. But before start off, let me grab this opportunity to for Trundl for creating this amazing event, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm really excited. So let's get started. First of all, let's have a look at what we have our agenda today. Okay. First, I'm going to talk about a little bit of myself and my background. Then I'm going to touch upon what are the marketplace applications and offerings and their key capabilities, today's context, which is Snappfire applications. Then we are going to talk about the use cases, stories from the fields regarding the core ITSM processes such as service request fulfillment, incident management, change management, problem management. And at the end of the webinar, you are going to have a chance to ask your questions within the Q&A section. Actually, you can post your questions with using your UI, and there should be a Q&A button over there. Please use that, and you can leave your questions and feedbacks and messages while I'm talking. And eventually, we are going to wrap up the webinar. So, a bit about myself. Again, my name is Önder Özcan, and I'm working as a senior product manager here at Appfire. But basically, I have 20 years of experience in the IT industry, and now I'm working as a senior product manager. I love getting in touch with the customers and solving their problems by using Atlassian ecosystem. And more importantly, as a product manager, I'm really energized by hearing customers, the needs, requirements, their stories, so that I can turn them into an application, a capability, functions within our products. So this is really exciting. So I think it's enough of me. So let's get into it. Yes, Snapfire applications and their key capabilities. First of all, I need to draw your attentions to the keyword Snapfire, because it's a lovely one. We as Snapbytes recently joined Appfire family, so this is a perfect combination of the Appfire and the Snapfires, and I love this word. This is our nickname. The Snapfire. Of course, we are creating Atlassian apps here at Appfire that can solve big challenges for our customers within the Atlassian ecosystem. So, in terms of the applications, what we have today, of course, this is just an Snapfire applications. I mean, this is the only context today, right? But in terms of the Appfire, we have more than 150 applications in our portfolio, from admin tools to project management, from workflow automations to ITSM. So please do check out appfire.com for more information for the whole portfolio basically. But for these Snappfire applications, we have two flavors basically: paid applications and the free ones. In terms of the paid applications, first of all, we have Time to SLA, which is the main focus of this webinar and the presentation. For the very brief summary, Time to SLA is a SLA tracking applications, so that you can define, track, monitor, and report your SLAs. And it is available for all platforms. I mean, server, data center, and also cloud. Next up, we have Enhancer plugin for Jira. And actually, the clue is in the name. It is literally used for enhancing your Jira platforms, right? For example, you can enrich your workflows, your business processes by using Enhancer plugin for Jira. You can create custom fields, date fields. You can create, the linked issues, etc. And also you can create gadgets and dashboards so that you can establish insightful reports for your business. You can create metrics and KPIs as well. So next up we have assets and inventory plugin. Again, it is really really useful and a really straightforward application. Its focus is creating and managing your assets within your Jira instance. More importantly, you can define relationship between those assets. You can link them together and you can manage them in a more consistent way. And lastly, in terms of the paid applications, we have Comment Enhancer application, which is tiny but really important application for enhancing your commenting capabilities, such as first commenter, last commenter, etc., for the cloud application. Just before moving on, Enhancer plugin for Jira is available for all platforms. I mean, server, data center to cloud. But for the assets and inventory plugin, it's available on server and data center, not cloud yet. In terms of the free applications, we have Statuscope. Statuscope is used for having a rich issue history, basically. And for the snap metrics, you can create fundamental metrics for your Kanban or for your sprints, so that you can use in your environment. An easy integration for Jira is the one which is used for integrating your existing Jira instance with your external, let's say, systems by using well-defined REST APIs. And not just for the REST APIs, it has built-in post functions and built-in capabilities so that you can make beautiful integrations, just like creating a, let's say, Confluence page within your business workflow. And lastly, we have one specific application for the Turkish audience, which is Turkish language pack for Jira. It is obviously used for localization for the Turkish customers so that they can use their own language within the Jira Service Management environment. Again, this is the super brief summary of what we have in terms of the Snappfire applications. For more information, please do check out Atlassian Marketplace and head over to the SnapBytes section. As you can see, SnapBytes is an AppFire company, and for the broader portfolio, please do check out appfire.com. So it's now time to the actual user stories, actual use cases from the fields, our recipes today. But before moving on, let me remind you a bit of structure. First, I'm gonna give you a bit of context so that we can understand the background of the use cases. Then I'm going to use this context as a baseline so that I can formulate the actual needs and actual needs as an agile user story. And then finally, we are going to talk about the solution by using time to SLA. Okay, so the first one, I need a reset. I mean, who doesn't, right? So uh, the context is, in this particular example, this organization, this customer is experiencing, the tickets are circulating between the teams, in and around the teams. But for this specific example, the change manager wants to reset SLAs when the tickets land in their their queues basically. So the user story is something like this, right? As a change manager, I want to reset the SLA counters when a change request assigned to the change advisory board, or CAP in short, so that the team can be prevented, can be shielded from internal issues, internal impediments such as reassigning issues multiple times, time spending in another teams, another department queues, etc. It's really important for them because obviously SLAs are more than just a configuration. It's your promises for your external customers, right? So in this context, whatever the reason might be, if this the ping pong tickets land in change manager's queue, she wants to be able to reset the counter so that she couldn't be impacted in an adverse way, because SLAs are KPIs, and this is part of the performance metrics that particular organization are using for, right? So the solution, surprise, surprise, time to SLA. For this particular example, we have dedicated capability for resetting the SLAs, right? On the right hand side, you can see that the screenshot over there, we can see reset condition, right? So in terms of the reset condition, we have many options, right? Um, we can reset SLAs based on status, for example, in progress, test, etc. We can use any field within the Jira system, like field, the custom fields or any other built-in fields, assignee, etc. We can use, when a comment is made, we can take an action to reset an SLA counter, or we can use, the date field. But for this use case, we can use field, and in this example, the field is uh, a custom field called team. So when the team changed to change advisory board, then it's pretty much it. We are good to go. But the last bit of the interface, the UI is behavior on finished SLA. It is actually an important one as well, because it gives us the opportunity to handle for those who are already finished, right? But for this particular example, we are going to take no action whatsoever. So, as you can see, in just a couple of minutes, for just a couple of, the mouse clicks, we can create reset capability by using time to SLA. But now you might ask the question, in your mind is, hey, Önder, so why don't we use Jira Service Management's SLA capability for this purpose? Why not? Which is a really good question, actually. So, first of all, Atlassian Jira Service Management is a fantastic piece of software. It's really great. It has SLA capability as well, but when it comes to its feature set, it's limited. In this context, this reset capability is unique to time to SLA. So it's only possible, or it's only uh, available for time to SLA. So that's the reason. This is one of the key differentiator of the time to SLA. So yeah, again, just to recap, all you need to do is choosing the reset condition, which is field in this context. When the team change to change advisory board, reset SLA. That's it. It's that simple. Let's moving on. Can anyone pause the time? So again, a bit of context. In this particular example, the procurement manager in this organization, decided that SLA counters must be paused if and only if the purchase requests assigned to external supplier. So the user story out of it is, as a procurement manager, I want to pause the SLA counters when the requests are waiting for external supplier, so that we can avoid false SLA breaches. I mean, it is really important. It hurts many customers, it hurts many organizations, and it is an important use case as well. Um, as you can imagine, they already have SLA configuration in place, but along the way, day in day out, they are conducting their practices within their organization, and they experience that if the purchase requests progressed into external supplier, and if there's a delay for whatever reason, the clock is ticking, right? The clock is ticking in terms of the SLAs. So they just experiencing false SLA breaches because the time is up, the SLA counter stops, and their SLAs are listed as, it's breached. It's not a successful one. Again, SLAs are really important KPIs for many organizations. Uh, so it is important to nail it down, important to configure and tune in a way that it is perfectly aligned with your business process. So in this case, this particular customer wants to introduce a pause capability. So again, the solution is our time to SLA. By using time to SLA, we can use it. Built-in pause condition for that matter. So as you can see on the again right-hand side, we have pause condition, right? So pause condition, we have two options basically. We can choose status or we can choose field. In this example, we need to choose field, and this field is assignee, which is built-in, um, uh, pretty obvious built-in field. When the assignee field is in the external supplier role, project role, uh, the SLA counter must be paused. Obviously, um, it's better to point out that this project role must be defined before before setting up the SLA configuration by your Jira admin. And once it's there, it's defined, you can choose from this menu, right? Um, so it's that simple. So just choose the status or field, and then assign the correspondent field for this pause condition, and choose the whatever role it might be. Again, you might ask the question that why don't we use the built-in one? The answer is yes. There's an pause capability within the JSM's SLA functionality, but there is no option for, excuse me, for choosing project roles or groups. So unlike built-in JSM functionality, we are providing groups and roles as well. So again, in this regard, it is unique to time to SLA. Yeah, just to recap, again, in couple of minutes, you can satisfy this this use case with time to SLA. And moving on to next one, it is related to that one actually. And let's move on. So the recipe 3 is, I need to regenerate SLAs for existing issues. Again, it is related to the previous one, and now the persona is different. Now it's our Jira admins, right? So in this context, um, once we introduce this pause capability, Jira admins want to update SLA data, SLA metrics for existing issues that are at least 30 days old. So this is their, decision, and it needs to be implemented, right? So as a Jira admin, I want to regenerate SLA metrics so that I can retrospectively update SLA data for existing issues that are at least 30 days old for waiting for external supplier status. So so this is why important. It's very obvious because sometimes the new conditions, new rules, new let's say business processes are introduced, are implemented, but it needs to be so the existing data also updated for based on certain criterias, right? So in this regard, they just uh, decided that this new condition, post condition, should be implemented for the last month's data, that at least 30 days old, right? Again, the solution is time to SLA. We have specific menu items for this purpose, as you can see on the right hand side. Uh, um, we have dedicated menu, and it is really simple one. We have just one box, it's called jQuery. So all you need to do is formulating your jQuery statement so that you can narrow down the existing issues that is matched with your exact needs, right? So in this particular example, issue type should be service request, and the team is procurement team, and the created uh, within the 30 days, which is very simple jQuery statement. After formulating the jQuery, all we need to do is hit the generate button. So what happens behind the scene is um, time to SLA is evaluating those jQuery statements and determining what data set, what existing issues are needs to be updated, and it updates all the data that is satisfied with this condition. Again, it is unique to time to SLA, and you can, whenever you want, you can retrospectively apply any conditions, any status for your existing issues. And I have to mention fact that we recently revamped this menu as well. It has additional capabilities for providing, let's say, how many threads should be running behind the scenes so that you can speed up the process. You can have performant regeneration capability when it comes to big and large enterprises who are heavily relying on time to SLA and creating many SLA applications for their environment. Yeah. So moving on to next one. This is actually my personal favorite. Next business day SLAs for VIP customers. So it's a quite powerful one in my view. So the context is, as a telco company, uh, this telco company has many business partners, right? They are doing business to consumers as well as business to business. So they are managing their business partners, of course, via Jira Service Management, which is the best in business, and also they are um, using some sort of segmentation regarding their customers, right? Bronze, silver, and gold customers, etc. So the our user story is, as a B2B manager, I want to be able to respond any service request at the end of the next business day so that I can comply with my SLA agreement regarding the gold customers. So the solution, so it's really important because um, uh, SLA, this in this particular example, there's a specific SLA agreement for the gold customers, so it must be complied. So the customer needs to be complied, right? So the solution is using time to SLA's built-in gold functionality. As you can see on the right-hand side, we have SLA definition UI here. So all we need to do is obviously, name the SLA, giving the project or issues or workflow, whatever suits your needs. In this particular example is the JQL. Each issue type is service request, and customer segment is gold. And the goal can be, negotiation date, dynamic duration, or static duration, or most importantly, next business day. So what happens behind the scenes is, when you choose the next business day, the time to SLA, so what happens is, behind the scene is, time to SLA is calculating the next business day uh, by using the calendar behind the scene, right? Because calendar is really important when it comes to SLA management, because you might have, the 9 to 5 calendar, or you might have 24/7 calendar, right? So it is automatically calculated based on your calendar. So when you choose the next business day, that's it. It's that simple, so that you can comply with your SLA agreement. And the next one is the last recipe is about OLA, operational level agreement. So OLAs are so a bit of, the jargon buster. In the ITSM world, we have lots of um, acronyms: SLA, OLAs, UCs, etc. So OLAs are, unlike SLAs, OLAs are internal agreements, right? SLAs are external agreements, and these are the promises for the external customers, and the OLAs are for internal, let's say, customers. It's for internal agreements, and we can use them to track internal commitments. So, bit of context here. Some incidents for this particular example require level 3 support, which is really common, right? And they ended up having linked Jira software tickets, Jira software issues for different departments, such as, the development team or system network team. So the user stories, as an incident manager, I want to be able to set linked issues SLA based on the parent JSM one. When we have a blocker incident, so that we can force the development team to comply with the SLA agreement. Again, sorry. Again, it is so in this scenario we have a bit of different scenario, right? So we have Jira Service Management and we have Jira Software as well. So the solution is we need to create SLA for JSM as well as Jira Software, and we need to glue them together by using automation. So let's see how we implement that one. So, um, sorry. So the first one is defining main SLA for the JSM project, right? So how can we do that? Uh, by using time to SLAs configuration. By the way, I need to mention that for the first for the uh, in this particular example is implemented by using time to SLA cloud, and for the first let's say four recipes are implemented in the server and data center edition to give you the flavor, because the cloud experience is a bit different for the server and data center, so that you can have a feel uh, what is the user experience for the cloud as well. Anyway, for the main SLA, it's pretty straightforward. We need to name the SLA. We need to choose the calendar, choose the duration, etc. And we need to, of course, provide to JQL, which is priority should be highest, which is the blocker in this case, and status should be escalated to level 3 support, and the project is in this context, in this example, the demo service project. And the most important configuration bit is uh, uh, bottom of the screen is the target date custom field. So we need to check this. We need to check this out, because by using this, time to SLA is calculating the SLA data behind the scenes and storing that information to the custom field. In this example is the SLA target. It's going to be important when we are implementing the automation bit. It's going to be clear in a couple of moments. The step two is defining the internal SLAs or OLAs in this example for the Jira software project. Again, it's pretty straightforward. We need to name the SLA, choose the calendar, and we need to create the formulate the JQL statement, which is issue type should be bug, and the project should be Jira Software Level 3 support. And the glue is the automation bit. Um, for those who are not familiar with it, automations are running from top to bottom. As you can see, it's gonna be triggered when the issue transition to escalated to level 3 support, and if the priority is the highest, is the blocker in this case. What happens is when those conditions are satisfied, this automation creates a new ticket, new issue within the designated project, and creating a link, and link them together. So as you can see on the right hand side, the create issue is used for creating a ticket or creating an item for the designated project. In this case, it is the level 3 support. An issue type is the task, but you can choose whatever suit your needs. For example, story, or bug, or epic, whatever. And lastly, we need to set some fields for this newly created Jira software ticket. Summary, description, as well as, most importantly, SLA target. Because if we copy that SLA target from the main one, uh, so so it's pretty much it. Because by doing that, we are be able to enforce the Jira software issues by using the JSM one. Just to recap, we need to create SLA for JSM as well as Jira software, and then we need to glue them together by using automation. But the final word on this one is, it is not full-fledged OLA capabilities, but we can say that it's a first iteration. We can say that. But in this particular moment, I'm really curious about your feedback, your question on that one, because I'm curious about your own experience in your organization or your customers. Do you need OLA capabilities? For example, would you be happy if we create full-fledged OLA capabilities so that you can track your internal OLAs within the main, let's say, JSM under the JSM issues, etc. It can. So I'm really curious about your opinion on that one. So, talking about the opinions, I think now it's time to for your questions. If you have any questions, I'm happy to um, answer them.
Hi, Andar. This was an awesome session. So we have a couple of questions. The first one is Manish asked, can we calculate lead time and cycle time via this plugin?
Cycle time and lead time. I think it's a great question. Let me write it down. We can analyze the exact needs, the lead time and cycle time, and we can get back to the Manish, hopefully.
Great. The next one is from Manohar. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the names wrong. Since Snappfire joined Fire family, are there any notable changes you are planning to bring to TTS app in terms of deeper integration with other Fire apps?
Oh, yes, that's a great question. Yes, of course, we have plans to integrate, our own portfolio. So this is the, let's say, the vague answer, but I'm really curious about their needs, their requirements. If they have, the particular needs for the particular, applications and integration between them, uh, I would like to hear them.
Okay. The next question is, does TTS extend or overlap Jira SLA's functionalities?
Could you please repeat that?
Does time to SLA extend or overlap Jira SLA's functionalities?
Okay, so obviously it's a different product, but in terms of the capability, of course, it's extending and expanding the capabilities.
Okay. And the last question is there a way to reset SLA clock of a SLA for an issue that is in progress? Use case, my SLA condition is a status transition and user transitioned issue unintentionally.
Okay, so it sounds, applicable, doable, but I need to think about the details of the use case.
Okay, so for anyone who want to ask further questions, you can send under an email and he will be happy to answer. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Gigi. So, um, I'm really thankful to you to joining our session. Thank you for being part of this, the amazing event. And if you have any follow-up questions, please do send me an email. It's on the screen now, or you can set up a one-to-one in the virtual booth. And again, thank you very much for your time. Please stick around, don't go anywhere, because what's coming up next is truly amazing. Andreas will talk about the data privacy. Sean will talk about the better customer focus, and Anand will talk about the art of business storytelling. Uh, you know, they're all awesome and great presentations. Please stick around, and thank you for your time. Uh, you know, Stay tuned and stay mellow. Thank you. Bye.